Hi, welcome to This Week in Property. I'm Jayashri Kurup. I'm editor MBTV. We will soon be joined by Prabhakar Sinha. He's the real estate editor of the Times of India. And we're talking about digitization of land records, coping with the problems of digitization. Clearly, our systems are still to become robust. And we've seen recently in the NCR, both both Gurgaon and Noida have faced serious problems of connectivity, the system malfunctioning and so on. So we're talking about how good is this digitization of land records for consumers, and what is it that the consumers should guard against? What is it that we can look forward to? Joining me in this session is Ramesh Menon. He's director of Certis Realty, and there's Kumar Gaurav, who's techno-functional expert. Uh, uh, Gaurav, I'll start with you first. Explain to us what were the problems that Gurgaon and Noida faced recently.
Just to put it in a nutshell, probably this problem can be for many landowners across the country. Problem stays the same because let's say, so there are three stakeholders: one who wants to buy a land, one who wants to sell a land, and then there is government. So these three are main stakeholders. But if you see, there are a lot of middlemen. So let's say if you want to buy a piece of land, so let's say, and because of thanks to this migration, a lot of people come from different parts of the country to Delhi, Noida, and Gurgaon. Now, let's say somebody wants to buy a piece of land, whether that land is for some different purpose, whether that land's owner is probably I don't know. So there can be many problems. So when you go to digitize these things, these problems can be automatically, taken care of.
Yeah.
So, we basically we
That
had
actually
present.
sounds like a solution. What is the problem that it threw up?
So problems is many. So for example, let's say somebody wants to pay his taxes for land, yearly tax. So now there are system is very like it's like from British era it's coming up. There are words probably people of my age. So I'm just 31. So in my age they don't understand like what khasra means.
Yeah.
Basically plot. So these terms we don't understand. So that is a basic problem. Even if you want to go on the online, you can't figure it out. So what happens? You have to bank on people whom you really don't know. You're forced to trust them. That is a very big problem.
Okay.
So if I can tell you some of the problem that comes right on the top of my mind.
Right. Ramesh, let me come to you. Uh, there were problems of a system malfunction, which meant that thousands of people couldn't register their properties in Noida because the system was not functioning. Another thing was that when you wanted to check your records, the system kept crashing. The same thing happened in Gurgaon. Now, is it because the systems need to be more robust, or is it that our process of digitization is still very nascent?
So let me contextualize it from whatever I've heard so far.
Yeah.
What we are talking is three different subjects,
Yeah.
right? Now, all three are independent in itself. One that I understood was we are talking about the revenue records,
Yeah.
verification of title, etc., etc. Or how does somebody become a bona fide seller?
Yeah.
The second aspect we are talking about is the digitization or the techno commercial aspect of the digitization, and third being the payment of taxes, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
So let me put this in context. When we talk about land,
Yeah.
we are talking about agricultural land, the legacy records being onboarded onto a digital platform.
Yeah.
I don't see any problem there except the willingness on the part of the government to accelerate that process.
Okay.
Right? To my mind, people like you and me who are part of the system, we cannot give any handle or leverage to the government for not actualizing it.
Yeah.
If we can bring the entire trader community of the country under GST,
Yeah.
if we can bring the entire passport services under digital,
Yeah.
if we can convert the entire Indian railways into, if we can bring the entire banking system into the digital economy, this whole, whichever the state government or government institution which says, oh, we are facing a problem of digitalization, sorry, do not frap around because we would not buy that argument. So in that context, what people, in the media, the noise that comes, itne log thage gaye. No, these are gullible investors, stroke buyers who fell into a trap willingly.
Yeah.
See, if you look at the land records per se, although it is manual, it is pretty descriptive.
Yeah.
How does one become a landowner? Either by inheritance, by purchase, or by gift, or any means which is duly noted in the mutation records. All the states or all the governments which did. How did Andhra Pradesh do the same function 20 years back, which a Gurgaon or a Noida is talking about not being able to do?
Yeah.
So in context, digitalization is a necessity, which if a government doesn't do or is not able to do, is probably because they have bad vendors or they have not been able to. Because you and I know how much we have contributed to some of these government departments where they didn't know, how to frame the entire tech, which includes land pooling, which includes, many other policies where we have brought in the IP for them to. So it's not a very difficult job.
Okay. Let me put the whole thing in context for those of you who don't understand what we're talking about. Most state governments and the government of India has been working towards digitizing of land records. So why should you digitize them? Which means that earlier it used to take a lot of time and you had to visit various offices to get your land records, the due diligence of your land records. If you're buying a plot of land, it's not enough to say, see that the present owner's name is there. You have to go back many, almost 20, 30 years, sometimes up to 50 years to check whether there are any unpaid dues, whether the land has changed hands and so on. Now, we have been talking about digitizing these records so that it can be all available online for a long, long time. Now, what has happened today is that the government, various governments have got a digital portal where you can check the details of the land you're buying. The government of India, Hardeep Singh Puri, our housing minister, recently launched the eDharti Geo portal. Now, this will integrate legacy drawings such as maps and lease plans into the management information system, make it GIS enabled. Is it already up and running? It is in the process of being digitized. I don't think we are fully there. The Land and Development Office is dealing with about 60,000 properties in the central Delhi area. Bangalore has got Bhumi and Dishank, which is a comprehensive database of important documents like the record of rights, the tenancy and crop inspection, which is also known as Pahani, mutation details, ownership demarcation maps, and all this have gone onto these maps. In Hyderabad, there is the Dharani portal, land portal, which the CM has just launched. Now, this land web portal is touted to be a nerve center for both agricultural and non-agricultural properties. So clearly, we are moving towards an era of digitization. And the reason why I picked this issue up was because a lot of consumers across Noida and Gurgaon wrote to us in the last couple of weeks saying that there was they would pay the stamp duty amount, but it did not get reflected. There were glitches in the system. Now, the amount you pay for stamp duty is a huge amount. You can't then say, oh, that will be refunded, let me pay it again. It's a huge amount. People don't have twice that amount to pay. So these are important issues, and that's why we picked up this issue. Prabhakar, you want to join in and give your views on this?
Yeah. Actually, this digitization of the property record is a very important move. And I remember some time back, McKinsey had put out a report, and in that it had said that if land records are put in place correctly, then India GDP will automatically go up by 2.5 to 3 percentage points just because of that. And the government of India had taken it up in very right earnest, and they are doing it all over the country. But in city areas, it is rightly, it is very, very difficult, particularly our joint family legacy and things like that, and the records are not properly created so far, and so there will be issues. And I attended recently one seminar on this topic. In that topic, they are saying it that a land record doesn't mean that it finally assign you or gives you the property rights. That you will have to establish it in the court, but it just suggests you that you are the owner of this property, and this is one of the things. And to that extent, it's a good move, but I believe that long way have to be covered. And what you are pointing out is very, very correct, that in India, if the land records are not properly maintained electronically, and at the same time it put in uses, then it will play havoc to the common man, because then common man has no idea where to go for the correction. So he will keeps running from pillar to post. So that part has to be taken care of, but it's a right move in the right direction, and it will take some time.
Gaurav, if I'm buying a plot of land, I go and check out the details on a website. Suppose I feel that there is some discrepancy. What do I do? How do I get it corrected?
So if there is certain discrepancy, probably you can reach out to the registry office of that district or that particular block. You can get there. You can get that corrected. Where you take help of them. There are many clerks sitting over there, and they can help you get done. A lot of this process is online, but even if you go to have been actually happening on what is happening on ground. Even if you submit your request, chances are it could get rejected due to many issues, which right now is not addressed. For example, somebody has bought a piece of land, and the ownership transfer has not happened.
Yeah.
Yes, the registration has everything has happened, but due to that mutation change, it has not happened. So what happens? You apply online, but due to some reason or the other, because there are very complex land transfer system is going on in the country, it creates a lot of problems. So let's say here we are thinking that technology will wipe out all the problems. Technology is not a magic wand. Here technology is just an enabler, right? So I think in my opinion, the marriage between technology and functional people, it has to happen. And why it won't happen? Because as Prabhakar sir mentioned, that the GDP will go up by 2 to 3%. Now that's a huge number that we're talking about. But there are people who are powerful people with vested interest. They're not let do it. I'll give you one example. To MP government, and a year or two back, we presented a solution for digitization of land records on blockchain. So for a piece of each land record, you have a unique certificate that will, solve the purpose of that entire ownership problem will go. Even if somebody sitting at government and tries to do certain modification, they cannot do it, because in blockchain, the ledger is maintained in some other node as well. Now that presentation was liked by each and everyone in the government hierarchy. It's been 2 years down the line. We are being told that it will come up, tender will come up, tender will come up. Government liked our solution, but still it's not on the paper. Tender has not been floated.
Yeah.
So that is what the problem that we have. We need will also to do it.
Yes, actually vested interests are a big issue. In fact, when I spoke to the land records officers in Karnataka, one of the things he said is that they are first working on the rural land records because it's much easier to convert. The urban land records, the number of vested interests and the number of discrepancies in the records are far higher in urban land records because urban land is more expensive. Do you agree, Ramesh?
Two aspects, Jayashree. Again, coming purely from the perspective of land, which I've been part of both with the government, for the government, as well as the private sector. What we are talking about is the ownership of the property. or the piece of land, right? What is disputed is only the agriculture land.
Yeah.
You see, when let's say a particular village, let's say Dwarka, when it was created,
Yeah.
the government demarcated the land for a particular sector, and Khasra number gets converted to an urbanized plot of land.
Yeah.
And the DDA demarcates that Khasra into multiple plots. Right? So there is absolute safety about it. So we have to distinguish between the two products we are talking. The agricultural land, yes, there is a problem. There is legacy, there is inheritance, there is division and subdivision, etc. On the other hand, when we're talking about urban land, we are only talking about disputes. Have you ever heard of a dispute happening in a Greater Kailash or a defense colony or a RK Puram plot? Probably no.
Yeah.
Because the land records with the government very clearly enumerate that piece of land and trace the ownership right from, when it was agricultural land. So by and large, there are no issues. Issues are happening when agricultural land is subdivided in 99.9% illegally and it is sold to gullible buyers or investors.
But go back to the Greater Noida land dispute, the one that, where the authority gave land and then that land came up for dispute.
Yeah.
Help us understand what that issue was.
So what happened in the Greater Noida issue was that there was no dispute about the ownership of the land.
Hmm.
The dispute was on the financial transaction between the Noida authority and the farmers whose land were acquired.
Compensation.
So it was the compensation dispute.
Yeah,
Right?
and acquired under the eminent domain by the government,
Yeah.
which used its powers to pay a lower price. And the courts said that the landowner deserves a higher price as a compensation.
Yeah.
So there was no issue on the records. There was no issue on the records.
There was no-
Yeah, Jasri,
Huh?
I have seen this very close quarter because recently there is one ministry department, they have done quite a study
Prabhakar,
on
your
this.
screen is frozen.
Now,
Prabhakar, we can't hear you. Can you
now
repeat that?
am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please repeat.
Yeah, now what is happening, just want to say that now land records in any case, like he is rightly saying that in GK, Greater Kailash, there might not be many disputes. But in area like Rohtak Road, which is almost 100 years old, though it is residential, lot of disputes are there, particularly due to inheritance and division among the family.
Yeah.
But this land record digitization, now I was surprised that in the ministry, somebody told me that you can go to your village in Samastipur district in Bihar on the website itself, and you just type your name and whatever land plot you are owning, they will show it to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Though the ad measuring of the area of the land is not clear that,
Yeah.
okay, what is the size of the land? They show the plot and all that they have already done. Now they are saying it that these records they want to verify.
Yeah.
Because even today, lot of lands are in the name of my grandfather, grandmother, some of the names of others. So now they are saying it that they want to demarcate it. They want to ask them to do the mutualization so that it can go on your name.
Yeah.
Once those things will be done, now government is going to put some deadline that by that time everybody should come, pay the demutualization and get things done.
Yeah.
If that is done once, it will take a lot of time. I believe that not more than 2 years, but it should be. That's what the government's program is, because they have already done the first cut thing. Now they are saying it that they will be doing the second cut and third cut very fast. Though the Bihar is in laggard in this direction, but he could show it to me in my village in Bihar, and that too, which is very, very backward area. And Karnataka is much ahead of this. Hyderabad, the Andhra Pradesh has started all this much ahead of any of the states. They were in fact the first few to start with. Once that is done, then only one can say that whether it is working. But not right now, for stamp duty payment and things like that, which people are right now doing because of the COVID, I believe that is working fine, barring a few of the cases, because here lands are already sold, clean lands are sold. There's no dispute on the land purpose for that matter. And they are not finding it out on the website. But only thing is that transactions should happen online. And government should prepare at least for that. If they will not be able to do that, even I believe the Rajasthan is the first state which has started it way back in April this year itself. And after that, lot many states have also followed it just to collect more and more stamp duty. But as you are pointing it out, in Noida, this kind of problem has come up. So this is really worrisome.
Yeah.
But land records digitization is at a very advanced stage, and they are doing it, and they are trying to mind it in city like Delhi. They have done all these things, marketing through the drone mapping. So the first floor house is yours. What is the size of the house? Which side? What is the other things lies on your north, east, south, like that. So they are doing something great kind of a job. And that once that's happened, then even sitting in somewhere else, you can buy a property in city area. So that I believe will be a great thing.
Gaurav, the government has announced the Swamitva Yojana, yeah, right? This means that all rural, the villages, the land will also, they will also have a document. This documentation, what is the process, and are we prepared for this?
So in traditional way, yes, but if you talk about technology, we still have a long way to go.
Okay.
I'll give you a few examples. As Prabhakar has said, that in Samastipur, the chances are the land would be in the name of my grandfather,
Yeah.
right? Now my grandfather, he had multiple multiple offsprings, so there could be some dispute whether this plot of land belongs to me or my brother.
Yeah.
So that problem still exists.
Yeah.
And there, people like patwaris and all who go to land to check and everyone. So there the problem is very, very big over there, because registrar itself does not know who the owner of the land is.
Yeah.
Whose sign gives you the approval that you are owning the land, he himself is confused. That's what the problem is.
Yeah.
So, and many times what happens, even if you want to get a piece of paper which shows which proves your ownership of land, in cases, especially in rural areas, chances are 5 to 10% cases you will not find it. That's what we see, and that happens actually.
And that is where the land records, land documents are being handed over to the owners, right?
Yes.
Ramesh, just your perspective on the Swamitva Yojana.
No, sorry to be bringing on a discordant note, but the fact remains that the situation is not as bad as we would wish to paint it.
Yeah.
The truth is what? Every farmer or every landowner knows what land belongs to him. Stray incidents I don't want to comment on. Everybody knows. So this Swamitva Yojana, see, if you look at a village, let's say a village is 1,000 acres, 50 acres out of which will be the Abadi Day or the residential portion of the village.
Yeah.
जो खेती की जमीन है, every man goes to his land every day. So there will never be a dispute on that. So what records don't exist for is the 50, 100, 200 square yard lands on which they have built their houses.
Yeah.
And in many cases, certain villages are 400-year-old.
Yeah.
So there is no records. So what Prabhakar ji said was right. Using the drone and using a process of verification north, east, west, south, the Patwari records are being updated for the Abadi land also, saying which plot belongs to whom. Each khasra, mind you, each khasra, let's say the enumeration is 1 acre, which would mean 4,000 meters. 4,000 meters can have 500 owners. You never know, because chote batake plots and multiple people. So kheti ki zameen mein problem nahi hai. So what the government wants to do is to digitize the records for every piece of land, which is the khasra first.
Yeah.
Because what has been urbanized is already reflecting as an urban plotted colony in the government records. There is no issue there whatsoever.
And it's
No.
just that you're handing over.
Credit where it is due. The government is doing a good job. They're trying to drive a change. Yes, there is fair bit of resistance, primarily from the lower level officers. And what Gaurav mentioned about corruption at the Patwari's end, till the records are manual, it's a piece of paper, right? One corrupt person can write somebody else's name.
Which we
Doesn't
saw
mean that the master records are changed.
Yeah.
Master records reflect the inheritance or purchase or transaction which happens on a piece of land.
Okay.
Yeah, Jayashree, I want to highlight here something.
Yeah.
Though digitization of land record must happen, whatever problem the society is facing. But I would like to highlight some of the issues which are very, very real.
Mhm.
Like in villages also, right now, at least around 20% families are in absentee. They are work outside,
Mhm.
though they have land in their village. Now what happens that in the village, their neighboring land parcel, the person who is tilling that land, he will start usurping part of the land piece during the process of tilling and all that. And mind it, in some cases, I have seen that the entire land plot has gone. Though on record it is there. When that guy comes back after 5 years, he says, "Where is my land?" Though on record it is there. So then there will be a meeting in villages and things like that will happen.
Yeah.
In Delhi also I have seen, like one guy had a plot in south of Qutub Minar, this towards Gurgaon, and he had a land part of something around 2 acres. And when he was selling it and it measured it, then he found it that it was only 1.25 acre only. So then he found out that his land had already been captured by his neighboring people. Now, so fine, he could recapture that, he could argue and he could got it back. But what is happening today, that government is saying that they will create a map through their drone. So now if that drone is going there and he measures the land that, okay, this is the size of the land, and then he matches it. And this is the problem what they are facing. And then he matches it, the size given on the paper, but that he will do later. So today what happens, that when he measures the land and he finds the total area of that village is not matching.
Yeah.
So then they are saying it, ki, boss, something is wrong. So now they are coming back again to the papers. So this is a very long drawn process. And in that individual or the citizen will be, now here is one case. Now remember Manoj Kumar, that cine artist, he had huge chunk of land near this Lakshmi Nagar or beyond that area, Shakarpur. And when he came back after 15 years or 20 years, his entire land had already been occupied by the other people. And despite the fact that land is there on his record, it is on his name, but nothing is on paper now on him. I mean, he's not getting it back. So land is a huge issue in India, and it is.
Take it to our experts. You've given a case study. First, let me go to Gaurav. Gaurav, what should this gentleman do when he finds that his entire land has been taken away? And how will technology, digitizing help in this?
So let's say it will start from the buyer perspective. So like there is my plot of land has been bought by somebody else. So now let's say somebody is going to buy that piece of land. I would like to check who's the actual owner of this piece of land.
Yeah.
Whether somebody is claiming that he is the owner.
Yeah.
In Prabhakar sir's case, I'll check whether Manoj Kumar is the owner or the person who claims that he's the owner. I need to check that. So what will happen in that case? Like let's say Prabhakar sir said that, even if we buy a piece of land, we are not the actual owners. Our money has gone in waste. Absolutely zero. So it happens. So as again I said, first, whenever we try to buy a piece of land, we have to check it. And where can we go and check it? Probably it's there, technology is there, there is web portal. But as I told you, web portal still not very user friendly. If I use a Magic Bricks, if I use, let's say I am from Patna, so I use that Bihar government state portal, to know about the land ownership.
It's not a land portal. Magic Bricks is only a.
No. I'm telling you, if I use a Magic Bricks and I use that government portal, so
Yeah.
user friendliness of Magic Bricks is much more. It's much more easier to use. It's much more simple to use.
Yeah.
That process, that government portal is still very complex. It has to be make easier for people to understand, and that is how you can figure out. My linears, we can figure out. We know that yes, the owner of this plot of land is this gentleman.
We found that when we did some shows in Pune, and we found that the Maharashtra portal, many users said was very easy to use. They could actually find it out. Of course, you have to go further back and check the validity of the records over a period of time. That was not documented, but at least the digitization, basic digitization.
We are getting there. We are still work in progress.
It is still work in progress,
Yeah.
right? Ramesh, respond to the case study that Prabhakar raised, where land was there, now there's no land when you go to reclaim it, or when you went to sell it, you found that instead of 2 acres, you had only 1.25 acres.
Let me ask a counter question.
Yeah.
Banks have digitized, but somebody misuses your credit card. What can the government do? What can digitization do? So here what Prabhakarji is saying, that somebody owns a land, the government records reflect that it belongs to him, but somebody encroached into his land. What changes with the digitization?
No. If suppose through drone, his map comes on the map of the site which is right now on the site. So suppose it is only 1.25 acre, and only in the map that much land will be reflected.
Yeah.
And if that got sanctity finally, that is finally put as a authentic record, then that guy will lose the money, lose the land. And so either he should be alert enough to find out every second day that Baba, what is the size of the land on the site he's owning.
Yeah.
So it is not possible.
When this whole exercise started in 2010, in some way, form, I was also present there to define the scope. Now the fact is, right, what Prabhakarji is saying is that is not just the digitization of land records,
Exactly.
it's also the e-map, or enumerating the land on a satellite imagery, which is what we do normally. All the urbanization projects, the 3 layers of maps, right? One is the Khasra records, then the sectoral records, and then we map it on the satellite imagery. That is how the roads, etc., are planned for every sector that one does. So coming back to your question, if there is a scam, then you can't, then God only can help. Merely digitizing the records won't help. What we are now talking about from all state governments is we are importing the legacy data into digital portals,
Exactly.
where one can go online and make the preliminary research or survey about the ownership. That does not absolve what is happening at the physical level on the ground of encroachments, etc. If you look at Delhi alone, almost 20% of the total land is encroached, which would mean the government records show that as a village, khasra, or agriculture land, but there is an unauthorized colony on it for the past 30 years. And that colony has 50-yard plots, multiple people bought it, and then they made multiple floors now. So effectively, the government records show one khasra, one owner. Actually, it has multiplied to 500 plots and maybe 3,000 owners. So to reach that level of depth, it will take God knows how long. But stage 1 is only digitizing the ownership records of agricultural land.
Yes.
The plotted land, unauthorized colonies will take time.
That's right. And with the E30 Geo portal, the legacy drawings are being imported. The maps and lease plans are also being put into a management information system, and it is being GIS enabled. So we're moving baby steps towards the next stage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to pick up some of the questions that have come. How can state governments verify ownership rights in case of disputes? clearly you have to go back into the land records, right?
How can state governments verify?
Verify ownership.
So state government is the custodian of all land records. So, they will see. If you look at how the process today is, if you look at the genesis of the problem, it is because of multiplicity of authority and no accountability because of the hierarchy. Case study Delhi, right? Land belongs to the revenue. DDA becomes the developer, but the ownership is of the government of India. So the Patwari does what he does, but there is no accountability. He reports to the district collector's office, and that is an island or a solace. But the registrar is not referring to that. So if you look at when we are talking about an ERP being introduced, of just connecting these two departments, then the online NOCs start getting issued. And the current owner gets an OTP or there are multiple ways of verifying of if anybody else is doing a fictitious transaction on his asset. Till now, the land did not hold the value that it has achieved in the past maybe 20 years. Hence, if you remember olden days or fable stories, गांव के मुखिया ने 5 एकड़ मंदिर के लिए दान दे दिया. आज तो 50 गज कोई दान नहीं देता. Because the land is valuable. Earlier, people were gifting land to each other. Hence, there was no necessity felt to digitize or have the land records firm. Few meters here or there never made a difference. But now when you talk about land prices being right up there, all these become very relevant and very rightly so.
Jayashree, one thing I want to say here that when the digitization is happening and they are maintaining entire thing on the website, then they should start, I believe they will be starting it, that landowner can put a complaint on online basis itself, and all the agency of the government should try to resolve that. Now, if once suppose I have put some kind of a grievances that my land size is not the correct reflection what has been shown in the map, then the other partner in the nearby area will also join in the dispute, and then I believe the government can come and do it. Right now what happens that in village, if you have raised a dispute, then it goes into the panchayat, some measurement guy will come and he will start, and for that you will have to pay the money, and then the measurement will be done and the land will be identified that, okay, this is your land, and you will get it. I mean, it's not the only thing is this, that other guy is a very big dabang, then you will have a problem. He will not allow you to measure the land even. So that is another story. But now because it is online, so online sitting here in Delhi also, somebody from his village also can file a complaint that, sir, this is not the correct position is something else. Please find it out from my land record and do it. And government should do it properly. I believe that could be a very big step towards resolving many of these issues.
Gaurav, how many states have you worked with on digitization?
I have worked with the state of MP government.
MP government. And help us understand what the process was.
We were trying to, implement blockchain for digitization of land records. So there we had introduced, that some sort of land ownership would have a very unique certificate.
Yeah.
And so it was a solution proposed based on blockchain. So that was supposed to take care of the ownership problem once and for all.
Yeah.
Even if government authority itself want to, change the ownership, they will not be able to do it. So that's what will
checks there.
Yes.
No, but that stage comes once the land ownership is decided and put on the place. That stage will come later. Right?
Prabhakar, I can't hear you.
Yes.
Prabhakar, we can't hear you.
Hello?
Yeah.
Now we can, sir.
Yeah, right now the position is that land ownership has to be fixed and it has to be uploaded. Yeah. Once that is done finally, then the record has to be put in such a way that it cannot be copied or it cannot be misused. That is that the blockchain and all those technology will come in and they will be safeguarded completely. So that is a great thing. I mean, it is likely to happen in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yes, about we
Government
are
is
about
saying.
5 years away from that.
Yeah.
Actually,
I
because
think if
now,
you see, yeah, if you see blockchain states like Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra, and probably for Chhattisgarh, now they are the one who are adopting these technologies very aggressively. So other states they can follow the node and they can introduce it. At least the land ownership for new buyers that can be taken care of.
yeah. Okay. Uh, Ramesh, there's a question. There are privacy issues in online land portal. Just like I can download my land records, can anyone else also download it? Shouldn't the government make these in such a way that only rightful owners can download the records?
And that's a very, very, very intelligent question, because this is bound to happen. Like I don't know what is the value or amount of money you have in your account, although banks have digitized it. Likewise, there are people who would not want everyone to know what is the kind of land assets they own.
Yeah.
Yes, that is an issue. Now, what are the legal safeguards for anyone to say that my asset list should not be put out in the public domain?
Mm.
There was this debate happening about 3 years back, but the convenient way for the government is to say, okay, let us first digitize it for our records and then debate the whole policy of making it public. Sadly, we are, at least in the case of land, all data is being published in the public domain.
Yes, it is.
Very easy to find out who owns what.
Exactly.
Not the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's not the right thing to do, especially in the case of urban India.
That's right.
Jayashree, actually, where government is moving in this entire thing is very grand. What government is saying, they want to create property passport or passbook. Now, when they are digitizing all these land records, and then they will map it with the land ownership.
Yeah.
And land ownership means that has to be done either with this PAN number or through the Aadhaar card number. Now, once that is mapped with that, then the government will at least know of the fact that how much land this gentleman is owning and his entire family is owning.
Yeah, but the question here is, should whether the government and you know it, that's fine. But should anybody and everybody be able to access it and see how much land you own? And is it fair to have it in the public domain for anyone to download? Yeah, Gaurav.
So, ma'am, see, the black and white area cannot be an answer for this. This is for the gray area. So you can have deterrent so that not any Tom, Dick and Harry can have a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say if I'm a prospective buyer of that plot of land,
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know who the actual owner is. So let's say somebody wants to get that service, you charge them. You charge them. That's how your privacy is also maintained. Government also gets a revenue, and it is not available for everyone, to take care, to know about. And also there could be number of times that you can, view it in a day, so that the problem is taken. There is some sort of a jugaad, I can put it, to make sure that your privacy is also maintained.
No, actually, you need checks and balances. Today, you don't have that. Maybe we'll move towards that as more people raise their voice against this.
If you're looking at the most advanced economy of the United States, they almost, have the sales listing as a public thing where the owner of the property goes and switches on.
Yeah.
Or allows the third party agency to list his property on the sales by market.
Yeah.
But you cannot make a blind offer to someone.
Right.
No, Rameshji, Jayashree, I just want to understand one thing, that in the village, at least what I have seen, that land records are almost in open. Now the village has a map, and then there is a list of the person that who owns what number of khasra. Okay, that the khasra say 110, 111, 112 like that. And suppose if my name is there against my name, okay, 110 is mine, 171 is mine. So it's already there listed. So it's not that land records are per se is a very, very private thing.
Yeah.
Because land records are always in open. So I want to understand, Mr. Menon, that how does it happens here in this part of the country?
No, excellent. See, when you look at the earlier unit of economy was one village, and everybody knew each other, so there were no secrets per se. But when you are talking about publishing the entire land records in the online medium, which would mean that I can have access to Mr. Prabhakar's land in Bihar. Whether I need it, don't need it is irrespective. There is no methodology of a vault today where only certain privileged previews can be allowed by Prabhakar. So that is not there. Said that, I know my personal sense is, we must allow this to happen. We must allow this to happen. The intent of the government is to bring more transparency
Exactly.
into, because what happens is when we don't have digital records online, those who are not living next to their land won't even know what is happening to their land.
Exactly.
So all scams that are reported are talking about, people went overseas and somebody else stamped or signed or, fake fingerprints were, submitted in the revenue records and ownership transferred to somebody else. So there is no harm in, the owners logging in to the revenue records and checking whether any changes happened on it. The only suggestion that I had made then during that meeting was to create a record of how many times or who accessed the record and if there was any change. Like if you look at the manual records, the Patwari uses 3 colors of pen, actually 4. Black, blue, green, and red. All changes are, are recorded in a different color of pen, so that the masters are maintained in such a way that once the also knows when was what change effective. It could have been the introduction of a will into the mutation. It could have been subdivision. It could be bequeathing rights to a daughter or a grandchild, etc., etc. All come in the records. So if that safeguard is brought in, I am in favor of digitizing the records.
Yeah.
Ramesh, there is a question. In Delhi, where can I find land records online? Is there any portal for the same?
Yeah. DLRC, ROR.
But the LND has recently.
Delhi.gv.in ROR records. Just Google it, you will find it. Yeah. But
there is,
mind you, that is again, I am making a clear distinction of land versus plots. When you are talking about land, the government talks about agricultural land. Regular plots, whether it is Janakpuri, Dwarka, Greater Kailash, irrespective, the government acquired those land and changed the nomenclature from Khasra number 1 to plot number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are part of the urbanizable or plotted colony records available with DD.
And are they digitized?
Land, it is agricultural land.
Are they digitized, the urbanizable records?
Yes.
Plot number 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, people. See, that record is with municipal corporation. That is not with, because municipal corporation collects taxes on it. That's why I said one has to be very sure, because there are multiple authorities administering the same piece of land.
Absolutely.
So that confusion might go away if everything gets, streamlined by way of,
into a single portal.
Yes. So maybe it is not in the interest of many who are stalling it. But my personal sense is, however much one may stall now, this digitization or digital availability of records is a reality and going to happen. You can push it ahead by a year or 2, but that's about it. No state economy can stay behind another state, because let's also see, we, coming from a very socialist legacy, we like to talk too much of, possession of land. Unless there is land available, there is not going to be any investment happening, right? We need land for housing, industry, IT parks, name it, and we need land. Unless records are available, henceforth, private sector investment will not flow. That era of gambling on land is over. Because we were all punting on it for many years, that stage or phase is over. So unless there is a valid, legitimate transaction in which the government is a stakeholder, nothing is going to move forward. So government stake comes by way of it becoming the safeguard or the custodian of that piece of land or the information.
Then take the next query. I'd like anybody here to answer. How will digital land records help in addressing legal cases which are pending in large numbers in Indian courts? Can disputed land records be recorded digitally? It's
No.
an interesting question.
No, it will remain as disputed among all those parties. And then the finally court will decide that whose favor it is going, and then it will be listed against his name. It's like that.
Whatever it is in the revenue records, that will be listed on the portal,
Yes.
right? And then
Jayashree, there is a dispute today, whether you go to the SDM court or ADM court, DC court or a civil court. A notice immediately is sent to that particular revenue records office, and they duly record that there is a pending
Dispute.
civil litigation on that piece of land.
Yeah.
So it gets, when they're migrating the data, it gets transferred.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Another question. This is a case study very similar to what Prabhakar had mentioned. I have a dispute with my cousins on Abadi land in our ancestral village, house in the village. I live far away from my village. My cousin has got his name etched on the house under Swamitva. Can I get it changed or challenged?
Yes,
How?
they can. Now, how did these two cousins become co-owners? They have to prove it.
Yeah.
I'm presuming it is by way of inheritance.
Yeah.
So it's a civil dispute. They will have to get it redressed through the civil forum. There is no other way. Of course, it depends which village. There is the SDM or the ADM also is a quasi judicial officer.
Yeah.
They can petition that office. If it doesn't work, then go to the civil court.
And one last question. Can agricultural land be converted into residential for the purpose of construction of a house? What do we do? Basic question, but I thought since it's come up, address it.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. Because you see, this is the bane of all the problems. And more specifically so in North India, not as much in South. You see, when land was a scarce commodity, well, it was not a scarce commodity, it was easy, let's say 50 acres in a village was Abadi land and the population, let's say, was 2,000 people. Today, like all other urban centers, the village also, the population has grown by 2-3 times. Villages don't grow vertically, they grow horizontally.
Yeah.
So since the land belonged there, by mutual consent, they used to expand the scope of the village. So that is where, if you see in certain villages, you have Lal Dora and extended Lal Dora, where the government expanded the scope of the Abadi area and said, okay, now that your population has grown, please. But governments, by and large, have done this exercise every 20 years.
Yeah.
And that is not an effective methodology at all.
Okay.
So, who does the urbanization? Who converts agricultural land to residential or commercial? So that is the authority whom this person has to approach. If you're talking about small pieces of land, absolutely no way there is a conversion. The minimum unit of conversion is defined for urbanization in each state, whether it is 1 acre, 5 acres, 500 acres, irrespective.
So go to your respective state documents and figure out how much land you need, a minimum basic, to convert it from agricultural to.
Yeah. So does it fall under a zonal development plan? That is important.
Yeah.
You can't have 500 acres of field and somebody saying I'm converting mine to residential or industrial. That doesn't happen.
And I think that's where we're going to close this session. Land is a fascinating subject. Land is a very contentious subject, but land is something that India needs to get its piece right, because the future of our development, whether it is industrial development, urbanization, we are poised to have move from 35% to 50% urbanization, for which we need land. For industrialization, manufacturing, make in India, all these various movements, you need land. And unless the land titling is fixed, there's no way India can move forward. And that's why it's such a big issue that we have been picking it up again and again. And I expect myself to pick up these issues many more times in the next couple of years. Thank you so much for watching This Week in Property.
Thank you, Jayashree.
Thank you.